A little bit tighter. Okay, bring everything back together. Right. So now he's gloves, has been moved. So back and move it. It's these. I find it's these steps. A lot of people they forget. They just want to jump to the end and do the super fun, like, oh, this is like scratches or oh, damage, wear and tear. But you need a strong or a good enough foundation to work on. Otherwise, no matter how much detail you put onto the model, it's still gonna look wrong. It's just not gonna look, in my opinion, not very good. There's all the stretches, right? And of course, later down the line, I can do this, right? I can inflate, make sure that this is a part that's kind of separated. Something like this, right? This is easy stuff. This is just what they call it, tertiary detail. Doesn't change the silhouette at all. Just makes it look nice. But not for this model. This model needs to stand strong as its silhouette. Now, how I have his hand. I kind of actually want to bend this. Oh, he does have fingers. I'll just block it out for now. His thumb, of course. It just gives that extra. See, now this finger. It's a bit in a weird angle. Well, it is kind of. He only has like 3 digits, so you have to make do with what he has. But with more fingers, the poses you can do. You have elegant fluid, like magic casters, or you can do like fighting stance. You can do whatever you want, and that in itself adds so much to the character. People underestimate the details in hand gestures, but a lot of people's emotion are shown through hand gestures. Okay, this needs to just hide. Could probably get rid of it later. But no need for now. Just his shell, so it hugs him a little better. Now, kinda lost. Yeah, he kinda has lost that backpack look. You might not see it. That's because it's gone. This interaction here, no, way too much in his body. No, we adjust. Alright, let's fix this strap. Can fix this one pretty easy. That one was not so hard. Yep. This one here. That needs to be adjusted. As it has changed in size. And this is what I mean, right? So, oh, I want to look into this, but I can't. Well, I have to hide elements. Now, because if you had it all in one tool, you would have to break it apart, hide it, and then, you know, it's not an easy workflow. But at least this way, can adjust your mesh. Thank you. Reminding me to save. No! Okay. It's okay. He survived the autosave. Alright, let's just do this. Now, out of the turtles so far, Mikey has the most elements. And I think it's because he's always been portrayed as the go-lucky, fun character, right? But you can't really do that by not giving him extra features, like a skateboard, you know, or I don't know. You can't really do that with a still image. With animation, it's quite easy because you can portray it in the voice, his gestures, his demeanor. But as a figure, I find you can't really tell him apart unless you know. Well, you can't tell him apart because he's got an orange headband, and that's it. That's what essentially I'm trying to say. You only know him because he's got an orange headband. That's Michael. I'm sure there's other elements that makes him who he is, like his skin color. I know he's a little bit more yellow than his other brothers. But I need to look up on that and find. Okay, so these pouches need to bend. They need to bend into him. Maybe here. this would not, wouldn't, it's not necessary in the way. But it kind of is. And this one, this is very much out there randomly. Well, I guess I could have it up here, right? No. I guess I just have it smaller. That's really small. Yeah, this is a very strange pouch. Because I might even... Because it will get in the way of his nunchucks. Like, the focus. Yeah, let's put the nunchucks back. Yeah, it sticks out too much. Needs to bend as well, doesn't it? Oop. Yeah, it needs to warp. Needs to warp with his body. Because right now it's kind of just hovers in space. And can't have that. The size is a bit better. I think I'll do that for the rest of them. Yep, that does. I like that better. This is what I mean with spending that extra time to do these small, tiny details. Well, this is the refining part anyway, so it's part of it. For example, if I did the pose and said, okay, this is done, put everything obviously roughly in the place it should be, and call it done, you'll find that there doesn't seem to be any care in when the person was making the model or the character. And it kinda saddens me when I see that lack of detail. Now, obviously, you can sum it to not having experience, and it's like, oh, I don't really know where to add detail, right? And that's fair in its own right. But when you do know it could be that extra little polish, but choose not to do it because you're either too lazy or can't be asked, then why even make the model in the first place, right? If you're gonna do something, do it to the best of your ability. That's what I try to do with most of my models. And I hope when this gets shown in conventions and online, people will see that. And if not, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I know I did. And that's kind of my take on it. Like right now, here, right? This is supposed to be leather. But it's acting like a weird, hard object. So let's change this. Push this out a little bit more. Right? So it's kind of hugging this thigh, but pump this up and do a sharp curve. Obviously, follow the line of the thigh itself. Can't do it the other way around. For example, if I did it this way, you know, can work. You're going for that way, but as you can see, it's like, why is this crease here? Some people would just make the crease for the sake of making creases, which I admit I did back in the day. But I learned the hard way that those creases, sure, they may look good from a distance, but they kind of look like there was no thought process when adding them. It was like, oh, this looks fun, like that. Yeah. And then obviously, because this crease exists, push it closer to the leg. See? And then now you have this kind of like natural curvature. It's like, oh, okay. The belt itself is tight to the body, but because of how the legs are bent, it shows a little bit more of how aggressive his stance is. Yep. Unhide that. Yeah, see? And that kind of just looks better, right? Oh. And Mikey's belt buckle. I twist. Now, you're probably wondering, oh, how did you do this M, right? It's so nice and clean. Well, ZBrush has a feature for that as well. Text 3D vector. Yeah? New text, type what you want. Hello, I'm text. Okay? And then it will generate a 3D model of your text. And then you just make it into a polygroup or a tool itself, and you can even like you would have to do Dynamesh to make it really high res, then low mesh, etc. But that feature is there. So you can do text as well. Gotta make sure I'm deleting the right thing. Alright, so all these poses, they are honestly taking, I just noticed these, they are taking up resources that is unnecessary, because these are just the transpose meshes. You can always make new ones. Yeah, that's the original one. And here's just the body. Okay, for that. So hit. You can see the change, right? Legs a bit closer. Oh, this is where I changed his eyes. But yeah, so everything's a little bit tighter, right? So you can see this leg moved in, this pad moved in as well. But yeah, these small little tweaks will go a long way. Alright, let's continue working on this belt. So this gap here is going to be a big problem when it comes to printing. Because it's going to have the gap there, but it's unnecessary for the print. And I want to save as much space as I can. Let's just move everything in. Now you can make it even thinner, but I need the thickness for when I'm printing. Otherwise it just doesn't latch on and fails the print. We can't have that. Alright. Now these needs to be adjusted. Let's just fix this. Classic smooth tool. Make sure the angle is okay. What is this? Oh, right. That mask. This one is okay. Put it a little bit higher. An angle. And of course, move this as well. Oh, earlier was fine. This one to here. Okay. Now fingers is a really tricky one for me. I did the other one quite easy because it was just moving, but when you want to really grip something, I find it quite difficult to get it looking just right. But I'm gonna have a crack at it still, because I have to. Oh, right. Yeah, this is how the clipper works. Okay. Okay, that would do. Save. As I'm going to a step that is quite tricky. So I have to move this arm, his left arm, into position, have the fingers and hand curve around this nunchuck. So the only elements I really need is the body, his elbow pad, where's the gloves, the nunchuck themselves, chain so my fingers don't go into that. Okay. And we're gonna go to transpose master. This is the best way to do this all in one go. And let's see if I can get this right. The brush knows something's up. Like, oh, you saved earlier? Oh, I'm gonna save for you again. Because you never know. I've lost a lot of detail to how the glove interacts with the hand itself. But that is just how it is. Let's unhide all how that works and see how this works. Do want it closer. I want him to grip it obviously quite tight. So the closer it is, tighter should look. Now there is an advanced, or no, not, I wouldn't say advanced, but an extra layer of detail is to have softer elements really wrap around the model and not like intersecting like this one, what's happening. That level of detail, amazing. I mean, the patience that person must have is great. I would do that for, I wouldn't say just higher resolution. Just more prominent characters that. Oh, actually, I take that back. Not prominent talent. Probably for films and games, yeah. Probably do that. Because it kind of needs to be done for it to look really well. Like for example, like these fingers each have their own separate sections, right? And that level of detail, or yeah, can definitely push the model further. I won't deny that. But for no, actually, no, yeah, I would do it if I had to. Well, there's no question about it. There's no like, oh, but there's no buts. Like, if that level of detail is needed, make that character really pop, then it has to be done. I don't know where I was going with it, but yeah. Like, right now, he doesn't even have any knuckles. Like, how can you not have knuckles? It's just not possible, right? But I'll do that later. Okay, so that seems to be in position. This chain is definitely not in position. I don't know what happened here. Probably moved it without actually knowing. So let's change the anchor to here. Do this. Not too. I'm just thinking, is this too sharp of an angle for it to be printable? Like, it would, but that just means I have to. So I need to make the tension of the chain like I did on the other side. Well, not like, but I need to adjust each chain like I did on the other side. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Right, so let's edit this gizmo so it's a bit easier. So this doesn't indicate there's a tension. indicates that there's a slack. So if that's the case, then I need to move this. This is the one that's out of position. Now, you need to put it under his armpit. And then center position. No. There's that. That is already flowing into it nicely. Okay, I don't need this stuff now. Forgive me. Yeah. So this is what I meant about having like organic features wrap around inanimate objects, right? Like, despite how strong or muscular a person is, it will never be a metal object. If it is, then prepare for World War IV. I don't know. Because that's a dangerous thought for a person to be able to punch metal and just walk away unharmed. Now this has kind of pushed his bicep. This needs to go flat. We got oh. Okay. Pretty close. I move it here. Now I'm very curious of how this will print, because it is interacting with the mesh, not by much. Even the shell needs to be pushed in. Or do I push it out so it hugs? The shell is pretty hard. Keep that in mind. That should work. This is a nice happy accident, honestly. Because of how strong of a grip Mikey is currently holding, his forearms obviously will be more prominent, right? It's just a feature of muscle and human anatomy. This is no good. Kinda in the wrong place. Just do this, right? Yeah, I keep it inflating that and keep on pushing it back. It's this backpack, this shell. Now this bulge on his deltoids is a bit too much. No, just that. Now his collarbone. This is always a fun little detail I like to do. Find his chin, which is like, I mean, yeah, chin, right? Do this line. Do this line. This is quite a stretch. He's turning his head. Ready to kick some ass. Check. Yeah, this side is not actually there. See, this is like the balance of your model. If this side is as bulky as, if this side is not the same as this side, there's some weird, I mean, there's quite a lot of tension and he's more relaxed there, so that would work. Just gotta make sure it's not too ridiculous. Like, oh, look at that big turtle. I mean, it looks good, right? But a bit too big for my taste. I say that and then I inflate it a little bit more. And let's adjust this. These deltoids has changed. What else can I do? Well, there's a lot of things I can do, but what else? What areas do I want to work on? I've seen people kind of focus heavily on one area, right? Like for example, this would be so much detail, but the rest would be just nothing. It would just be a blob. For example, let's say, like, for heaven's sakes, this is what they've been working on for the last 2 hours, right? Just like random details. But then you look at that rest, and then it's just like, oh, it just doesn't look great. It looks unfinished. I find if you work on areas bit by bit, evenly, your model slowly kind of comes together naturally. Going on with his bandana. So this is a problem I've had with the other turtles. These headbands are very prominent to breaking. One slight pressure and it just snaps like a twig. And obviously I don't want that for my product. But I can't seem to find a solution that doesn't have them sticking into the mesh. I do enjoy the flow that they have, each individual pedals. So I do try to keep it, and I probably will stress a lot to be careful when handling these models. But for collectibles, I think that's, I wouldn't say expected, because some people play with their collectibles. But it would probably be highly emphasized to customers or to anyone who's looking to buy these guys. Now, obviously, that's for like the smaller one. I haven't seen it. I haven't experimented with them being much larger and with thicker material, apart from plastic resin. So I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I'll keep the cap. I was about to think like, oh, he actually looks good without it, but cap's a feature. Oh, I think that's also a um going on here. I think that's an interesting thing that happens when you're like modeling, right? You make this uh part or accessory, and it looks in your mind pretty good, and then you take it off, and it's like, oh, it looks even better, and then you start to judge, question your own judgment, but go with it. Go with your, I wouldn't say your gut, because sometimes your gut will just say no. Look, this looks better. Like compared to the other two, it fits, right? But then Mikey is his own character. He's a character of a character. So we'll keep that cap. Who knows? Maybe I'll have it as a feature where it's interchangeable headpiece. The turtles with New York hats. I don't know. Business ideas flowing. Who knows? Um, let's see. This needs to move down. Rotate it. The problem is they are straps, but they're not connected to anything. So basically, huh. I mean, like practically, yeah, it will be a problem. That means I need to kind of merge these guys together. I don't really want to. See, this is what I mean about like questioning your own design. Like, oh yeah, the backpack idea is great, but then you think of something else, and it's like, oh, it might not work. I mean, it doesn't change anything on the silhouette, right? Oh, actually, it does. Not that much. Hmm. Ah, look at that. His feet's not flat. Hmm. Alright, this Oh. It's almost finished. He reminds me of a character from Mortal Kombat. Striker, that's the one. I guess it's just all the straps and boots. So I'm just seeing I rotate his leg. Now this obviously breaks a lot of the model I've done. I'm just trying to find little small tweaks to make him okay, so now interesting. Alright, let's pause here. That's a little bit more refinement done. Fix his muscles a little bit. Actually, I'll just do that now. Not much, but it does help. This let's make him solo for now. Line. This line can change. Yeah, something's off. It's this feet placement. Okay, I think I see it now. I'm trying to figure out where it is. But I will take a pause for now. I need a break. Been working on this for what, 3+ hours? I mean, it's alright. But not finished yet. Not quite yet. So, see you in a bit.